Good morning. How are you all doing? I hope you've been enjoying the last 3 days. We're on to day 4 of our training. We've covered a lot in the last 3 days, and today I'm super excited to dive into this topic of creating your your life around your dream. So, building your business around your dream. Whether you're a business leader, owner, whether you're a medical professional, one thing is true: I have oatmeal stuck in my teeth. Whether you're a business leader, and that's true for me right now, but might not be true for you. One thing that's true for all of the professionals that I serve is this fact that you prioritize what you get. And if you're prioritizing only your finances, you could be missing out on joy and connection in your life. And today, when we talk about building your business around your dream life and working to support your dream, it really honors all of your priorities and all of your values instead of sacrificing one for the other. So let me dive in here to today's topic. Welcome. If you're joining me live, you know I love to see who's on with me. So please drop your name in the chat box and say good morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here live. I love to be busy and I love my work. And so it's very easy for me if I have my priorities out of alignment and my thinking small, it's very easy for me to become dull. It's very easy for me to feel robotic. It's very easy for me to feel depleted when I'm out of balance. How about you? Type the number 1 if you can relate. You feel like I love my work, or I love my business, or I love the people that I serve, and it's easy for me to almost become addicted to that, and sometimes from a place of fear. Hey Sophie, thanks for chiming in. So we get what we prioritize. It is super wise for us to focus on making money. Good morning, Tanya. It is super wise for us to take care of ourselves financially, and we want to keep doing that because then we all know we can take better care of the people around us. So you're being responsible and wise when you're focusing on making money. Today, we're also going to include focusing on your joy, your connection, and making all of the other areas of your life wealthy. Because no matter how much money you make, like I mentioned yesterday, if you're not focusing on all areas of your life, you're going to start feeling dull or gray. And we don't want that. Life's meant to be colorful, right? So, first, we're going to be covering how to bring your dream life, how to make it a reality now instead of feeling like you have to wait for it for some time in the future when things change, when you reach that next level financially or whatever. And instead of waiting for it, we're going to be bringing it closer to you strategically. We're going to be talking about dreaming. We're going to be talking about the necessity of disappointing the right people. And then I'm going to give you some tangible strategies to be able to make your dream a reality sooner. All in 20 minutes. So you know that you've been test driving me all week, right? If I was a really awesome car. And I'm not usually a car girl, but I have become someone who admires really fancy cars. I have an expensive taste for cars, I've learned. Everyone I point out, my husband says, "Oh yeah, you have expensive taste." I like that Porsche. So you've been test driving me all week, right? And if you just stay in this training and you gobble up all of the content that I share, that usually I only share with my private clients, then it's my total gift to you. But if you decide you want to go all the way and you don't want to wait. You want my help and you want to walk with me step by step. You want someone to guide you so that you can have your dream life sooner. Remember to message me because I only have 2 spots open. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more tomorrow. But those 2 spots I know will go quickly. And if you act today, I'm going to throw a fun bonus in there for you that's going to be really helpful for you. So just message me and we can have a chat, see if we're a good fit, see if right now is the time for your transformation. I know it is. So let's talk about dreaming. Dreaming is necessary for you to have the life that you want. And if you think about building your dreams around your business and the business is the core, then your dreams only have a small focus of your attention. But if you make your focus your dream life and it includes your business, then there's going to be space for everything your heart desires. So we're going to flip this whole equation, flip this visual, and talk about dreaming, because if you don't allow yourself to dream, you don't give yourself permission to receive, and you call yourself a better giver than a receiver, that's a problem. So I want you to start dreaming of everything that you would like to include in your life, as well as the financial aspect. I want you to think about big dreams. And don't think, oh, is it big compared to someone else's? Just what would please my heart? And years ago, I had a coach challenge me on this one when she saw the dream that I wrote down, because she said, is that really your dream? Or is that what someone else thinks is a good dream? Would that satisfy someone else? Is that really your dream? And I had to have a good long think about that, because it wasn't quite my dream. It was maybe 3/4 or even half of what I wanted. So start writing down what comes to mind in your personal life. What would you be spending more time on? What would your focus, what would you have more time for? Who would you have more time for, and who would you be spending your time with? That's different from today. Where would you be spending it? Would you be in other countries doing your work? Would you be maybe in a little cabin of your own where you can focus and you can have time away from the office or your family or whatever? It allows you to have creative ideas flowing all the time. Where is your dream taking place? Maybe multiple places. My dream takes place in Hawaii, Thailand, Tofino, Hornby. I love being in multiple places. Next week, I am so thrilled to say we are going to Kauai, Hawaii, and I'll be playing and working from there. It just lights me right up. So, what do you want to dream and then make possible with me? You know that as I train, I treat you like you're already my client, right? I treat you and give you the same amount of energy and ideas and forethought that I would any of my high paying private clients. So dig into this, use this time, because it's powerful when you intentionally use time. What amount of days would you be working in your dream life? What amount of hours would you be working? I remember maybe 2, 3 years ago dreaming that I would have this life where, well, it's not 2, 3 years ago. The dream is older than that. But 2 or 3 years ago, it became a real reality. I was dreaming that I would have maybe 3 days a week that it were focused on client work, serving clients and creating offers for my clients and educational material and worksheets, and then the other days would be writing. and planning and time that I could go for a bike ride with a friend or my husband, or I could go out for lunch with a parent. That was the vision for my dream life. Like the life, a week in the life of Amy. That's what it looked like. And those 3 days of work, they weren't even full work days. So when I started dreaming of this dream, you know you're on the right track when it makes you feel like, oh my goodness, that sounds thrilling, but it also feels really daunting and is, yeah, right, that's too big of a dream. Or maybe it makes you feel guilty, like, what are people going to think? This woman, she doesn't work very much. Really, guys? One, the thoughts of other people don't matter and shouldn't dictate or ruin your dreams. And two, you're allowed to have any life you want. That life might not please other people. Likely it wouldn't. Or if it's triggered jealousy in others, it would. And they're just not allowing themselves to dream as big as you and give themselves permission to to create that life. Oh my goodness. Let me know if excitement just hit you, because it just hit me if you couldn't tell. So, what are the hours and days that you would work? Where would you work from? If it makes you feel guilty, you're on the right track, you're dreaming bigger. What time would you be spending differently and with whom? You want this dream to be so thrilling, so daunting, and important. So, the reason why I would spend time writing and the reason why I would not work full time is because I want to be an awesome wife. I want to have like just a sparkly marriage. And I want to be a great mom who's really connected and is fully present for my family. And I want to have close friendships. And I want to have time in nature. And I want to take care of my health and feel fully alive and make a great income so that I can care for others better. I want it all. And I don't think I'm asking too much. And you aren't either. So let me know in the chat box, what are you getting excited about? What would thrill you? Let me know in the comments if you're watching on Facebook Live. What would thrill you? What would delight your heart? And I'm going to quickly, I'm going to let you have time for that right now to enter in your thoughts. What is it that's bubbling up inside of me that I try and tell myself isn't possible, but might be? We're not focusing on the how right now. We're not editing. We're just letting that stream of dreams flow. So as I keep teaching, I'm going to read your comments, but let me know what thought is thrilling you. Second point I'm covering today is learn how to disappoint the right people. So Tanya says I'm just going to pause that second point. Tanya says to travel the world, but still be able to have income coming into me. Exactly. Mine too. And I've created that reality, and it is so satisfying to my heart. And it's possible for you too, Tanya. And you just need to get strategic about it. And I can show you how if you want to have a conversation about that. We'll be talking about that today too. So, disappointing the right people. We all need to learn how to do this. Today, I want you to create another visual. So, grab your pen or your pencil. If you are not taking notes, I want you to just envision what I'm going to share right now. So, I want you to draw multiple circles. So, maybe one, two, three or four circles. So, the innermost circle is quite small. In that, I want you to write me and my direct family. So if you don't have children or you don't have a spouse, just put yourself in that circle. And then the next bigger circle, I want you to write in there close family or closest family and friends. Okay, you with me? The next circle out, you might write colleagues and casual friends. The biggest circle, everyone, ready? The biggest circle is the people who may be on your email list, the people who you talk to on social media, but you really don't know from a hole in the wall. They go in your outer circle. Your job is to disappoint the outer circles. You don't want to walk through life and be disappointing the inner circle, because you will feel regret at the end of your days. And we don't know when the end of our days will be. We don't want to say, if we open the story of our lives, this book, if we all have a book and it's the story of our lives, and we don't want to open it and say, she always kept other people happy, but was never happy herself. Ouch. How about writing the story of your life and you co create it and it reads, she was considerate of others and always honored her own desires and figured out a way to be able to be loving to herself and others. And she lived her dream. She made time for family and friends. She made time for creativity. She made time for income producing activities. She was wealthy in all aspects of her life because of what she prioritized. So when you disappoint other people, you're not disappointing yourself and your family. Because we all know this truth that we can't keep everyone happy and we can't be liked all the time, but we can like ourselves. And that's what matters the most. Because when you like yourself, you're not trying to prove your worth, that you're enough, that you're important to anyone else, because you already believe it about yourself. Why is this tied into, or how is disappointing others tied into our topic today of building your dream, building your business around your dream life? Because you need to disappoint people in order to do this. People are going to maybe judge you or criticize you or have negative thoughts towards your decisions. But if you let those rule your life, you'll never be happy. And they might be happier as they watch you and they see what you make possible. I was doing research maybe 4 years ago for a presentation that I gave for Tech Canada. And it's a professional group of people that come together to get coaching and mentoring in a group environment. The research that I found was that happy people are more successful in their professional lives. They do better than the majority who aren't happy. So if you're more successful, it's because you're happier in all areas of your life. And that means you need to disappoint the right people. So who finds this a challenge? Put your hand up. Maybe raise your hand. Click that little hand down there if you find that a challenge. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, right, Sophie? It's uncomfortable to disappoint people. And yet there's a way to do it with kindness and consideration still. Let's hop into our third point. Like I've said a couple times, when we focus on making money and we put our, we take making financial stability seriously, we're able to take better care of those around us, right? But how do we actually put it into practice? That's what I'm going to be talking about today. And I'm going to move very quickly. So get your pens ready to take shorthand notes and then watch the replay if you didn't catch it all. Here's some tangible strategies that I have for you to that will conquer that how voice in your head that may have come up when you were giving yourself permission to dream a few minutes ago. When you dream, then your mind wants to know, how are we going to make this possible? Because this seems really big. So ideas to implement to make that full dream a reality now, as soon as possible. If you're in a position where you can job share, this is my first idea for you. If you have a co-owner that you work with, have a conversation about how responsibilities could change or how you could split the role up more effectively to support your dream life. I know that this is one of the strategies my clients in healthcare have used. Instead of working full time, they job share to take care of their clinic duties and their patients' needs. What about a new role? Idea number two. So, your responsibilities can change so that you can be focusing more on using your creative skill sets or your strengths in business. And you can be um, delegating different duties to someone else in your company if you have more than you in your company. And if you don't, number three, hire more help. Think of it this way: if you can make X number of dollars per hour of work and you hire someone else and pay them less for something that would have eaten up your time and taken away your ability to be focusing on making more money over here, you are saving the difference. So your hour minus how much you would pay them for an hourly wage equals how much you save every time. I get my kids to help with this sometimes with home responsibilities because I know I can make a lot more if they're helping and they're happy because I'm paying them to do extra. My little workers. Don't worry, they're happy. All right. So, fourth idea is to better utilize the help you have. One of my clients had an assistant that was working full time for her office, and other leaders in the company were utilizing this assistant much more effectively than my client was, because my client is the type of personality who likes to be in control, and she wasn't letting go of that control enough, and she was causing herself stress and pressure because of her heavy workload. It was piled high, you guys. And she realized, I need to let go of some of these things that my assistant could be doing. And I just need to have a conversation and train her to make sure I feel confident letting go of those duties. And that allowed her to have more time for runs in the early morning, or reading, or prayer, or getting together with a friend, or working towards her bigger goal. So these are some ideas for you to contemplate. Fifth is create hands-off residual income. So if most of the income coming in right now is coming from direct hands-on service or product development, you have the opportunity to create residual income if you come up with a creative idea to be able to serve the needs that people have right now while we're still facing some big changes in the world that impact the professional sphere. So what are some of the needs people have that keep them up at night that you could solve once with your strengths, that would be really fun for you to use and add value to these people's lives, help them sleep better, help them enjoy their lives more because they have your product or your service. Think of what they need right now. Get creative. Write it down right now if an idea is coming to mind. What do my people that I love to serve need the most right now? And how could I help fill that gap? So that allows you to maybe take Friday afternoons off. You create it one time and you can sell it many times. You create a low hanging fruit for the people that you serve. And then that draws them into wanting more of what you offer. It's like, here's my appy that I don't have to work for every time to serve you. And then they want the full meal deal because it was so good what you served them. What about taking 2 afternoons off a week? Could that be possible with the new income that would come in? What about lunch with friends? All of these strategies enable you to bring your dream life to you now instead of waiting for it. The sixth is mentor others. Have you ever thought of using the skill set that you've developed? And believe me, you have overcome so many more things than you're giving yourself credit for, possibly. And you have worked through challenges and found solutions that other people would benefit from. You've created your own system, possibly, that you could share with others. Have you thought of mentoring others and advising others? That's very lucrative. Maybe that's a new side branch for your business or your company. Even if you're a healthcare professional, there's really cool ideas that I can give you on this forefront. All right, number 7. It's super important. This is another opportunity for you to make your dream life a reality now instead of only have an abundant financial life. Increase your visibility. Increase the number of sales conversations or offers you're making to people. If you aren't experiencing no's and rejection, then somebody else is that's making more money than you because they were willing to bite the bullet and not take it personally and see it as just stepping stones to the yes. Last, number 8, is that right? Yep, is to raise your rates. What you offer is very valuable, and how you position yourself is very important, because how you respect yourself is the level of respect you'll receive. So you can raise your rates dependent on the value you feel it provides for people. And don't just stop at, well, it will help their business with A. Okay, what about how it will alleviate their stress? What about how it will help them think more clearly and focus, because now that issue you're taking care of isn't a problem anymore? What if it will bring them joy and energy? And now, because of that joy and energy they have, they can focus more on their family and they can be present. And maybe they are experiencing deeper levels of intimacy with their spouse. What if now they feel like they have time to go traveling and have adventures more? All because you did this one thing, you solved this one problem for them. That's valuable, my friend. So you could also raise your rates. I'm going to end with that point today. Let me know in the chat box if you want one of those spaces with me that I have left for private clients. I have 2, and I have 2 in my Mountain Movers group coaching program, which will totally accelerate your capability to increase your finances and experience more joy. It's just that the private coaching, you have all of my attention, you have all of my guidance and support, and we can get there faster. I'm going to enter my email in the chat box and read your comments, because I love seeing what insight did you get today. So as I type, you can write an insight that you got today. So yeah, if you just email me, then I can give you the application form to fill out and we can have a more in-depth talk. If you are ready to go and you're committed. So Sophie says, the piece to make art for hours every day, or at least 3 to 4 days a week. Be outside for hours every day. Be with people I care about at least once or more a week. Beautiful. Yeah, the things that fill your soul. And I know your art making is not only what fills you with joy, but it's what's going to fill your pocketbook. It's what's going to fill, that's such an outdated term. I never use the word pocketbook. It's what's going to fill your hand with cash or your bank account with money, you know. The increased visibility feels so vulnerable. Yeah, it's vulnerable, but if you look at it as the greatest, most generous thing you can do in service for others, it helps you get over your own personal fears and start focusing on others instead of yourself. Tanya, you say that I like your points today. I especially like the importance of receiving no as a stepping stone to yes. Exactly. Can you imagine if I paid you money every time you got a no, how much more motivated you would be to keep going? Because You were celebrating every time you got a response, and it didn't matter what the response was because there was no emotional connection to it. Imagine yourself, and we're going to get into the psychology of the sale tomorrow, as well as live Q&A and coaching. So come with your questions, because if you want an opportunity to actually be coached, I'm going to hop into it with you. But imagine yourself as a waitress, Tanya, at a really high-end restaurant, and you're asking the couple at the table, hey, would you like this wine here that's $10 a bottle? I don't think they would even offer that in a high-end restaurant. Or would you like this bottle here that's $90? And you don't care what they say. They might even say, we want 7 Up. But all you're doing is you're the server, right? You're the person who is the conduit. And if someone doesn't want to be the receiver, there's someone else who's waiting at another table who's going to say yes. So thanks for joining me today. Please email me if you have questions that you didn't have time to send me today, because I know that our time together is short. And I would love to make sure that I have answers for you tomorrow, and that would give me some time. You're welcome, Sophie. Have an awesome day, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Talk to you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific.